hurry.
One evening, Thomas brought his last train to the station. Percy was glad to see him. Are you on your way to the shed, Thomas? Yeah. Why? Because that's where I'm going too. Oh, really? Something's got to be up. Toby looked up at the sky. Where? I don't see anything. No, you idiot. I didn't mean that literally. But how can something be up if it's down? Thomas was about to give Toby a verbal thrashing, but then he heard something. Bust my bumpers! Look at that! Mavis, Boko, Bill, Ben, Donald, Oliver, and Douglas paraded past. Good evening, you three. Aren't we a pleasant sight? Very splendid indeed. Can't talk now. Mr. Fat wants us all at the sheds. What's all this about? Oh, Mr. Fat just has a plan. Come on, let's not keep him waiting. So the three engines set off to the sheds. Silence! All right, I've called you all here this evening because I have an important letter to read from a little girl who's 5 years old. Dear Thomas and all the other engines, please, can I meet you? All my friends say they'd like to meet you too. I wanted you to come to my house for tea, but my mummy says there are no railway tracks leading to my house. Can you come to the station instead? Thank you very much. Sincerely yours.
Name and address withheld.
It seems that there are many children and adults from all over the world who would like to meet you. So therefore, my first 8 engines will be going to London to make that happen. Yay! Road trip! Yeah! Woohoo! All right, yeah! Silence! While we're away, the rest of the engines will be taking over your work, so please show them what to do. Since Annie and Clarabelle were going to London as well, Thomas and Oliver practiced with some other coaches. Thomas grew more and more excited. Too excited for his own good. Oh, I'm such a splendid engine. Mr. Fat says I'm really useful too. You know, I had a race with Birdie once. I raced out of the tunnel and stopped an inch from the buffers. Like this.
It was at this moment
Thomas
knew. He f***ed up.
Good God! Are you okay, Thomas? Get help! While there were no serious injuries, Thomas's front was badly bent. What do you mean you can't see it? Can't you see it's clearly bent? The yard manager called Mr. Fat. All right, I'll send up the workmen. But if they can't fix him, we'll have to go to London without him. Poor Thomas. At 8 o'clock the next morning, all the engines waited at the junction. Toby and Percy were each traveling on a flatbed, which Duck had shunted into place behind Edward. Gordon, James, and Henry were waiting to lead off. They whistled impatiently. All right, settle down. I'll wait 1 more minute for Thomas to get here, then we have to go. Oh, thank goodness you're all still here. I hope we're not late, as it's just after 8. The guard's whistle blew, and the cavalcade set off. Look out, London! Here come the 8 famous engines! Later in London, all of the engines were lined up in a splendid shed. Mr. Fat signed autographs until his arm ached, and the engines had their picture taken from so many directions they didn't know where to look. I'm glad that little girl sent us a letter, Percy. Isn't it wonderful what happiness a letter can bring?